everyone. Today is the May 19, 2025 meeting of the Westport Commission on Disability. Several of us today are participating remotely, but we do have most of the members participating. Normally, I would call for the approval of the minutes of the prior meeting, but we'll wait until Sue Sherman arrives so that we have 4 members present to actually vote. So the next thing on the agenda is Martin and I had talked about, I think he's in the process or has recently finished renovating parts of his home, and we, as our commission, several months ago, maybe even back last year, we contacted a person in the Massachusetts state government about whether or not there were any Massachusetts programs available for home renovations. And this woman, her name is Robin Putnam, and she sent me several flyers about the Massachusetts Consumer Guide to Home Improvement. And there's also a website, mass.gov/home improvements. That's mass.gov/home improvement. And there's another one called mass.gov/consumer. And it talks about the steps you should go through in order to qualify for funding through the state for assistance in home improvement modifications to your house. Several things need to be done as we get older, particularly for those of us who find ourselves either disabled ourselves or with a family member who has a disability. So if you are thinking about making a renovation to your home, you can contact the state government, but there's also the Westport Affordable Housing Trust that you can contact, and there are awards of up to $40,000 to help owners of properties assessed at up to $300,000 to repair and rehabilitate existing homes in Westport. So if you want to make a modification or renovation to your house, you can contact the state, and you can also contact the town Affordable Housing Trust. And I also found something years ago that says that beginning in 2020, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you might be eligible for some home improvements through that as well. And those such things might include maybe a wheelchair ramp to get in and out of your house, widening of hallways and doors to make it more easy and make it easier for you to get a wheelchair into your house, and then once you're in there, through the doors in your house, both to the bedrooms and to your bathroom, for example. So, hopefully, if you need to make renovations to your home, you will be able to find your way to some of these programs that will help you. And I'm going to ask Rick to put the websites on our webpage for the Disability Commission.
Yeah, I noted those, Brian, so I'll take care of those.
Thank you very much. The next thing on the agenda,
Brian, before you go on, I wanted to make a comment, because you're right. Thanks to you mentioning this, I think last year or the year, my financial planner, or the year before, I applied for this. I haven't gotten approved yet because it's quite a process to go through approval. You know, they want a lot of paperwork, and they got to send it to another organization in the state that okays it and so forth. But anyway, it is up to $50,000 interest-free. The state gets it back when you sell your home. And in my case, I'm not planning on selling my home, so that'll be something that'll happen when I'm long gone. In my particular case, my bathroom is very small. I still have a tub there. I have a bench that I slide onto, and as I'm getting older, it's harder for me to kind of get over that tub. So I'm going to have that tub removed, and it'll be a roll-in shower. I have a washer and dryer in the bathroom, which makes it very tight, so I'm going to have that moved to another room. I'm going to have all the doors widened because I just went up to Spalding to get it measured for a new wheelchair. And so they will do all that work, including, you know, some electrical work and so forth. So it's a great program. The people are very helpful. It is a little intimidating because they want so much paperwork, as most state projects are. But I think it's worth. You know, they help you through it, and they're very friendly. So I think it's well worth trying. And I'll report back once I get approved and the process begins.
Great. And one of the other things that you consider, Martin, is once you have the new roll-in shower,
Yeah.
get yourself a shower chair. So that, you know, it's all, it's usually all
Oh,
plastic stuff.
right. You mean one that can get wet and so forth? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm planning on that. Thank you.
Okay. And thanks for your input, Martin.
You're welcome.
I'm to hear from someone who's actually going through the process.
Yeah, it's great. And I think I mentioned to you, because you mentioned that you asked somebody to come down and speak to us and they never came down. But what the first gal that I talked with, who was kind of like an intro, they send you along to different departments, so to speak. So when you first are inquiring and getting your paperwork together, you meet with one person. And then once you get the whole paperwork together, she passes it on to somebody else. And now you're dealing with another person who may email you and say, well, I didn't get this tax return, I need this, I need that, blah, blah, blah. But the first gal told me that they'd be more than happy to come down and talk to us because they really want to get the word out about the program. So maybe in the future we can ask her to come by and talk,
Yeah,
okay?
great. Great. So I guess the point is, if you are planning to make home renovations, there is money available, there is help available, but it's not something that's going to happen overnight.
Correct.
So it takes time, particularly if you're dealing with government entities.
Well, because you also, they do give you a list of contractors that have worked with the program, and you can get your own contractor, but I want to work with the listed contractors because they already have experience working with the state agency, because now they also have to go through quite a bit of paperwork as well. And the guy that I'm dealing with has been working with them for 15 years, so he has everything on computer and he just sends it to them by his computer. Other contractors I've met have had to fill out paperwork, to tell what they're going to do, how much materials are going to cost. They want all the details, and so it's quite a comprehensive program. It's not like you just said. It's already been probably a month and a half that I've been working with them, and I still haven't gotten approved yet. But I still say it's worth it.
Yeah, and it's definitely a good point that you want to probably list one of the contractors that the state provides, because those contractors do have the experience.
Yeah.
And you're not going to waste time trying to educate your contractor on how a program works.
Correct.
The next thing on the agenda is Beach Avenue. And I wanted to make the point that Martin has talked to Chris Gonzalez, who runs our highway department, about the clearing of the road. And I have sent an email to Ross Moran of the Westport Land Conservation Trust about putting down the mobility mats, and also advising that we have the additional mobility mats and that Martin is currently storing them.
Mm-hmm.
And asking Ross to make sure that the mats come down closer to the road, so it makes it easier for people with disabilities to get up onto the mats.
Brian?
Yeah.
I went out there last week. I think it was last week, and I went for a ride. I don't know if anybody's been down there recently. The topography has changed a bit, so the sand to the right, where we usually put our mats from the parking lot to the right, we usually had one that kind of went straight and one that kind of went to the right around the rock. I don't know how they're going to be able to lay them out. It's it's a little bit different. It looks like when they cleaned out the road, so they did push a lot back on the road, but it looks like they piled a lot of it right at the entrance from the parking lot onto the beach. So I don't know if he's going to be able to spread that around a little bit. I'm hoping he can, because it looked like it'd be a bit of an incline.
Okay, oh boy. Now, I do remember one of the communications I had with Ross was that the sand had changed, and he wasn't sure about the placement of the mobility mats this year, but he said he would do his best to find a way to get them down the best way possible.
What I did also notice was that there looks like there's a new entrance to the beach, not quite as far down as our parking lot. Probably maybe, I don't know, 20 yards maybe up towards the road. They made a new way, and that would be a great place for a mobility mat, because that's like a straight shot to the beach, not around the rocks or anything. But I don't know if we'll be able to do, if the land will be able to get on by chair to go from our parking lot back down the driveway, the laneway or whatever, and then get up on the mobility mat. So we might have to, I don't know, we might have to take a look at that.
And also, I'm not sure about the ownership of that land, because there are private owners, and
Yeah,
then there's also the
it
Land
wasn't
Conservation Trust.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was as far back as Brian Corey's. It was closer to the land trust part. I think it's still in the land trust. I don't know that, but it didn't look like it was on Brian's land. It wasn't that far back.
My question is, I think I know what you're talking about, Sue, but if you park in the handicap parking spots and you're in a wheelchair, can you roll down the road?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the integrity of the road would look like to be able, like right now you probably could, but we all know how that road goes, right? So Beach Ave gets washed out, a couple of bad storms, and suddenly there's such ruts there that you may not be able to take a chair back down. I don't know. You might be a better, you or Brian might be a better a way to go down and take a look and see what you guys think.
Yeah, I'll take
you kind of know what both your chairs can do.
I'll take a ride down for sure. Brian, I don't know about you, but I'll take a ride down and take a look.
Yeah, please do that. And maybe somebody with a disability would have to be offloaded from their vehicle at that spot, and then the vehicle driven by an able-bodied person.
Oh, I get you. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, that that might have to happen, that we do it that way.
But then that causes a problem if somebody is alone, you know what I mean, is alone, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep, and then can they even park there? Do we need geomats there? So I don't know. When I went down, I was surprised at it looked like this. I mean, not that I'm surprised because the beach changes all the time, but it looked like it had changed a lot this winter.
Okay. I'll take a look, and then I'll call Chris if I think we should do anything to make it a little bit easier.
Okay, and I will send a follow-up to Ross and see if that's land trust land that would enter onto, just to confirm. The next thing on the agenda is Baby Beach, also known as North Beach. And at the last meeting, we heard that the picnic table has been on order. I don't know if it's been placed there yet.
I don't think so. I think Sean would have called me or one of us. But he knows about it. He's been told about it a million times. He's told me that they would get it there, but I don't know when that's going to happen. As far as the Moby mats, I know that Chris told me he's very well aware of them needing to be put down. I don't know if they're put down now or they're going to be put down, next week. But I'll check on that too.
Okay.
But I think he took care of it already. He told me that they were gonna go there. Remember, I think I told you that they wanted to do something like I think they want to put that repurposed asphalt down in the parking spaces to make it a little bit easier. You know what I'm talking about? Reclaimed asphalt, whatever, something like that. So anyway, it wasn't done last time I went. I went about 3 weeks ago, but maybe it's been done since then. I didn't have a chance to go down before the meeting. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah. We can ask. I can ask. I'm laughing because every time I talk to Sean, I say, Sean, where's that table? Brian wants that table. Where's that table? So I'll ask him again, but he knows about it. And he said it was on order. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll bug him one more time.
Okay. Yeah, and you can blame me, the guy in the wheelchair.
Oh,
That'd be fine.
my good friend, I had blamed you.
And I'm more than willing to let that happen, Martin.
That's what happens when you're chair. I did say, I'm serious. I said to him, I said, listen, I thought to keep bothering you, but Brian keeps asking at the meeting
That's right.
when is that table going to be put in there? Oh yeah, I know, Martin. We've got it ordered, and we're getting, or we're going to get it ordered or something. I don't know. All right. Anyway,
Brian is a very, very pushy chairman.
no, that's good. I mean, but you're right. It's been over It's been over a year, I think, and they've been talking about it. So I don't know what's taking so long.
Yep.
Of course, they're donating it, so I'm trying to say you got to be gentle. You don't want to say, "Hey, where's that chair? Where's that table?" But anyway, it'd be nice to have it out there this year.
Yeah, and Sean's very, very helpful and a friend of our mission.
Yes.
So I'm sure that he's got to rely on vendors, and we all know how
Well,
that goes.
I'll ask them just for an update of where they're at. Like, have they actually ordered it? Is it on the way? Is it? Let me find out exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and then for respect to the mats, both at North Beach and on Beach Avenue, they usually get placed in time for the Memorial Day weekend.
That's true.
So we can just hope that gets done.
I'll-
I will follow up with Ross.
Okay. I'll check this week too.
Great. The next
Okay, I'm
item.
pulling in. I'll be right inside.
Okay.
Great.
Nelson.
Next item is the Annex Playground and the Vision Board.
Woohoo!
Last week, or last month rather, at our last meeting, the photograph was taken, and at least two of our members, Martin and Lisa, were there to pose near the Vision Board.
Yeah, that's true, Brian. And Dana was there as well. We've seen the pictures because she kind of texted to us, but we haven't seen it
Public.
as a public display yet. But I'm assuming it'll be in Shorelines maybe this week or soon.
Great.
But yeah, they were very happy with the board. It's all up and going, and it's all good.
Great.
We are.
And
We
it
will.
mentions that it was donated by our commission, so
Yep, it does.
that's good.
Very nice.
The next thing is the Open Space Committee,
Yep.
and Lisa, maybe you can tell us where that stands, if there's been any change since our last meeting.
Yes, thank you, Brian. So, my colleague Steve and I have been working on this, very diligently. I was able to reach out to Sean Leach, and Sean Leach is a friend of Martin Costa, who I had a lengthy conversation with. He's really an asset to their committee, and he's really a walking encyclopedia as far as the information that I needed to move forward. He was very informative. He answered all of the questions that we needed moving forward, and helped me, to make a decision to move forward to be the representative. In doing so, I also had a conversation
Sue's here.
with Stephen, and Stephen and I have agreed. Stephen wants to shadow to learn more about the committee, alongside with me, which I think is great. So even though they only have room for one member, I agreed to do that, and Steve actually is going to support us, you know, in the public meetings, and so that we can kind of like learn together and shadow each other moving forward. So I thank Martin for introducing me to Sean Leach to help us make a decision accordingly, and they encouraged me to send that letter to be appointed.
Great, very good. And have you sent the letter, Lisa?
I wanted to come to the meeting first. I actually just talked to Steve today to make sure that, you know, we were in agreement together, you know, as far as how we were going to move forward. And he graciously said that he would like to shadow, and I felt that that was a partnership of us moving forward, working together, you know, on different topics and learning, and hopefully he would then replace me moving forward, you know, during the next once my, I guess, term is done, if that makes any sense.
That letter goes to the select board, is that right?
That is correct. I think it goes to the select board, and I also think it goes to the chairperson as well.
Okay. Great.
Yep. I did ask Sean to share my conversation with the chairperson, and he said that he would do so. And I guess they're in talks now of finding out when is a convenient time for their meetings to move forward. And they're establishing that now, and as of yet, he was unaware of when the next meeting would be. So I will reach back out to him if he doesn't reach out to me first, but he assured me that he would be reaching back out to me.
Okay. Very good. Sue, have you arrived?
I've arrived. I'm here.
Okay.
Hi,
So
Sue.
now we're going to talk about the minutes of the last meeting. Did everybody receive the minutes of the last meeting?
Yes.
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 Does anybody have any changes or modifications that they would like to make to them?
No.
No. And they have been posted also.
Great. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I make the motion to approve the minutes?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The minutes have been approved. Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is the Stroke Buddies event that Lisa mentioned at our last meeting. Was it May 15, Lisa?
Yes, sir.
And some of the members of our commission were there, sitting at the table. But one of the things that we talked about at our last meeting but did not vote on was a donation to be made by our commission. And there was some discussion about whether we should donate anything, and if so, should it be $1,000 or $2,000? So, anybody have any thoughts on the subject?
Well, I think since most of the other organizations have donated 2,000, I have no problem with donating the $2,000 to be used in future events. We have that banner that has been made, which was on the wall at the May 3rd event, of the Stroke Buddies event. I thought it looked great, and I think it'll be a good way to get more publicity out there. So I would like to personally say that we should donate the $2,000.
Does anybody else have any input that they would like to provide?
I'm in support of that.
I think that it's probably a good thing to do, and 2,000 is the right number. We have the money, as we know, and it just sits in our account, and we should find good things to do with it that will help people with disabilities. So I am also in favor of the 2,000. Anybody else?
Aye.
So I make a motion that we donate $2,000 from the Commission on Disabilities to donate to Stroke Buddies and Friends.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that has passed. We will donate $2,000 from our account. Now, Lisa,
Yes, sir.
the town accountant always likes to have some sort of invoice against which to issue the money.
Yes, sir. So on the donation sponsorship, the check is actually written out to the town of Westport, and then in the memo, you would actually put Stroke Buddies and Friends, and then it goes accordingly. I have a line item with the town, and they would be able to get that invoice as well. That's on the second page, Brian. It would tell you how to address that. I don't know if it's different if it's in-house. If I think
That'll be a line item transfer.
yeah, okay, there you go. Who knows?
I can stop in and talk to,
Yeah.
help me, what's her name? Nicole.
Sue. Oh, Nicole.
Yeah, I was there for, for this, to pay for this, and she took care of that, so I'll just ask her about the fact that we transfer. Did you see it by the chance? You need to go in the front and see the beautiful,
Oh, our banner?
yeah. it's
Yeah.
very
Yes,
nice.
I saw it that day.
Oh, it's on the
this-
banner, this is the
Oh, this
table.
is
new
the
one.
tabletop?
Yeah, this is a tabletop.
So,
It
yeah.
fits a 6-foot table.
So anyway,
So we'll follow up with
I
that.
already, yeah, we'll follow up on that. Brian, we'll take care of that. I'll stop in and talk to Nicole to see if she can just, does she actually need an actual
Bill.
invoice? Or can she just do the transfer, as Lisa is mentioning?
Thanks, Martin.
That's
very helpful.
cool, okay.
I would like to say thank you to everyone also, and that it will be utilized for educational purposes moving forward within our community, and any other suggestions would be welcome as well.
Well, great. The next item on the agenda is the wheelchair warranty bill. Several of us sent letters in support of this warranty bill to our town, to our state representative and our state senator, rather. And then from the emails that I saw that were going around, there were quite a few people that showed up at the State House in support of the bill, including several people who are in wheelchairs. And from what I understand, the bill has been viewed favorably, and it is now working its way through legislation.
Right.
But as we know, government doesn't move as quickly as we would like it to, but hopefully at some point in the near future, this will be passed. And I know some of you know my own personal experience with my power chair, and how it took months and months and months to
That's
get
crazy.
it repaired. And my chair broke just days beyond the 1-year warranty, and this wheelchair warranty and repair bill will extend the warranty to 2 years, which is a good development. So,
The bill also, Brian, it makes it timely for whoever the agency is that is going to be repairing it. They have to do it within a certain amount of time? Right? I forget what it was. though.
Yeah,
So what
I
was
don't
it?
remember, I don't remember the exact numbers, but when I read the
It's gonna
warrant,
be like a day or two or
It
whatever. They
was-
gotta respond back, and they also gotta have a,
I don't think it was that quick, but it was pretty quick, that they had to respond in a short time, and then they had only X amount of time to set up a repair date.
right. That's great.
and
So
the
that was
bill
good.
also provides that
to offer
a
you-
loaner wheelchair should be offered.
That's right.
Right, they have to
That's
offer
right.
you a loaner.
Loaner wheelchair, yeah.
Equal
right.
to your capability chair.
Yeah,
So they can't put you in a travel chair if you're used to a power.
makes sense.
Yeah, well, that's all a good development. Now, this this is the section of my agenda that I put in thinking of Martin.
Funny you should say that, Chief, because I have 1, 2, 3 things I'd like to go over in the final thoughts section of this agenda.
Okay, let's hear them.
All right, ready? So we're going to start first at Lisa and I've already been on, all right, let me start. Massachusetts Office of Disability offers what they call CAM training. It stands for Community Access Monitoring. Giving you training on, the size of wheelchair ramps, anything having to do at all with the ADA, and it's a 2-day workshop. I took it last year, and Lisa took it this year, so she's got a certificate that she's holding up here, for completing it. Jeff Dugan, who is the Assistant Director of MOD, runs it, and usually about 26 people show up on Zoom, and there's plenty of time for questions and so forth, but he goes through everything from, parking lots, what happens if a building is being renovated, the different types of laws that are out there, and rules from the access board to the ADA. It's very comprehensive. So it's a really good program. I think everybody should take it if they could. It's free if they could get it at a decent time. Unfortunately, it's a full day one. A lot of folks work. But so I just wanted to mention the fact that both Lisa and I have the certification for the CAM training.
Great. What else do you want to offer?
Oh, okay. So yes, I'm sorry. I was looking at something while you were. Listen, I want to talk about the beach chair. We finally found the beach chair. The one that has the big wheels on it that I think you've been in one, Brian, that you can roll folks who are disabled into the water and so forth. It's in the garage over here at Town Hall, but it is in such disrepair that I don't even think it's usable. First of all the wheels are off their axles. I don't know. I looked to see if I could find where the nipple was for the to put air in it, and I can't even find that. So I don't know. And then it's also got some missing pieces. It's dirty because we were going to take it out and use it as a showpiece for when we go on the road with the Commission on Disability. I don't know whether we should buy another one. I mean, they're $1,000, but has anybody ever used it? You know what I mean? But I still think it's just good to have. We are a beach community. What do you think, Sue?
I have been doing a little bit of research on it. I think it would be a great thing for the town to offer if we have the money, which we do. I know that when I was the PT at the school systems, I did have, I used to use it when the students used to go down the watershed, used to have the kids go down to the beach a couple times a year as field trips.
Good.
And I would put the kids in chairs in that, and so that they could access it. So I don't know if, it sounds like they haven't been doing that because it's in such disrepair, but there are chairs available. The one that we had, if we were to buy the exact one that we had, it would be about $1,224. There are some nicer ones now that I think we might want to think about, that you can actually, it's like a recliner with flotation wheels and flotation at the arms, and you can actually bring the person into the water, which would be really fun.
Yeah.
So that is more money. That's about let me see what that is. Hold on. $26.99, so $2,700.
Sue, in your research, did you find out whether there is a chair that's a little bit easier to push? Brian made a point, and Brian, can you tell about the fact that you were in a chair one time, and it's very hard for the able-bodied person to push somebody?
The chair?
Yeah. Is there something? I mean, obviously we don't want to get motorized, but maybe they have some sort of
motor
wheels.
assist. I did see a motor assist one.
I assume you can't go.
I would have to do
can't go in the water with that.
More. I'd have to do more research.
I just
try to find a motor assist one. There's an all-terrain one that I'm looking at here. But if it's the board's pleasure, I would be happy to do some investigation.
So I have a question.
Yep.
With regards to the chairs, are they different for children as opposed to an adult? Is it all adaptable, or are they?
No, I mean, they're just sling back, PVC,
Okay.
sling back chairs with straps. I mean, they're not something that you would stay in for long. It's something just to allow somebody to, they would take their, so I used to bring their regular chair, we used to go to State Beach. So you take their regular chair as far up as you could go along the path. And then I would transfer them from there onto the transport chair, and then I'd wheel the transport chair. Not the transport chair, the beach chair.
Perfect.
Down, but if it's okay with people, I can do some research and see what we can find.
Yeah.
That sounds good. And listen, just to add to that, one last thing, this will work out very well with the beach chair. I want to make a mention that on June the 8th, the Massachusetts Recreation Department, you know, the national one, not the national one, the state one, is going to be holding a adaptive recreation show out in one of the parks. I don't have all the information.
really?
On June the 8th, and I'm thinking there might be a beach chair there. So
Yeah,
take a look.
exactly.
They're gonna have bikes, they're gonna have, you know, all kinds of stuff.
what day
there.
is it?
June the 8th.
What time?
It's all day, it's from 10 till 3, but you can go anytime you want to. You gotta register. Why didn't I write down the information here? Hold on a minute. Adaptive recreation, yeah, I didn't write it down, sorry. But it's I'll get you more information, Sue. I'll send
Yeah.
it over to you, all right?
That would be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. I wanted to go last year and I had something on the exact date, so I couldn't do it. But you gotta register, it's free, and then they bring out all the, you know, adaptive stuff. I guess kids get to use some of the equipment, and they have different vendors there. It's kind of like a whole family day, a fun day, you know, so I think it'll be good to check that out before we purchase a chair. If we can see
Yeah.
one in action, you know, or we can talk to some of the folks there. To say,
Absolutely.
well, you know, do you have something that's not so hard to push?
Yep.
I have a couple questions. Let's assume we buy a chair, where is it gonna be stored? And then how does it get to the beach?
So,
Because you can't use it at Cherry Web Beach, it would be impossible.
right.
But you could take it. You could take it to Horse Neck.
In the, so, in the
You
past,
go to Baby Beach or
Yes.
North Beach, but number one, where does it get stored? Number two, how does it get to the beach? How does it get transported?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sue.
so in the
Who wants
past,
to use it?
Just a minute. Sue's going to address that, Brian.
in the past, it had been stored at, the fire station down in the south end. When the fire station was was on Main Road. That's where it was stored. It was, and you would sign it out so that they would know who had it. So it generally wasn't something that you had to reserve, although, you know, it might not be a bad idea. But there used to be a sign out clipboard, and you used to go and you used to just sign, I would sign my name that I took it on such and such a date at such and such a time, and it would be my responsibility to get it to the beach and transfer it. So it'd be the family or the person that wanted to use its responsibility. It's bulky. On the days that we would do it, I would borrow a pickup, and I would put it in the pickup, and I would drive
Yeah.
behind the school buses in the pickup to do it. That's the only experience that I had, is I would take it maybe 2 times a year, I was there for maybe 8 years, so
Wow.
that's about all that I ever used it. I don't know if others did, but, you know, it was there for families if they wanted to.
And Sue, when you say put it in the back of a pickup, do you need 2 people to do that?
That one you did, but it wasn't heavy because it was just PVC and canvas, and the most weight to it were the axles were made out of steel, and because the wheels were like big rubber wheels, big yellow knobby rubber wheels, and the rest of it was PVC. So it wasn't heavy at all.
No, it's bulky.
Oh, it's very bulky. It's very, very bulky, and that's something, you know, you know, I guess we may need to look at it and see if it's worth it or if it's not worth it. Could potentially State Beach, could that be something we could arrange with Horse Neck to store it there,
Yeah.
so that families could just, because if
That'd be
you
cool.
have a handicap placard, you can park at the state beach for free. So you could go with a handicap placard and then borrow the chair, right from there. That might be something we may be able to organize with the State Beach Commission people.
I don't think the state has one.
Or even the fire
That sounds
department.
like something that they should have thought of, there should be one there. You're
There may
absolutely
be.
right.
There-
There
and
should
there
be one
might
there
be.
all the time, you know what I mean? Because
I
families
can-
go with kids.
I
disabled
can
kids
reach
all the time.
out to, that would be DCR, I think, right?
Yeah, you're right. DCR is correct. That's who's doing the adaptive recreation program.
Okay.
Also, just based on the history, it may make sense to connect with the fire department again and refresh their memory and see if that's something,
If they're even willing to do
yeah,
it.
if we were to pursue a new
Right.
chair with it, because that makes a lot more sense than town hall, because there's actually staffing there that could just, facilitate the signing.
Yeah, that's where it used to be held,
Yeah.
was there, because there's nobody in town hall on Saturday
Yeah.
at 10.
Right.
Where the fire department was always filled. The police department, just didn't have the space at the time, and the fire department, they did, and the guys were always very
Oh, cool.
nice. I
Maybe
mean,
with-
granted, I did it during the
Maybe
week.
with the new building, they might have extra space.
Yeah, they might have the space now.
Yeah, they should. There's certainly some meeting rooms downstairs in that new building that they have, and part of that new building is community service, so they should maybe.
Do you think too, Sue, that maybe people don't realize that it's available?
Oh, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So maybe we could do like a flyer campaign,
Yeah.
or maybe a demonstration on the beach to
Sure.
show how it is used with your expertise.
I'll transfer Martin and throw him in the water.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I'd go to just
I'll
to
be
see
happy.
that.
My other thought related to that was, River Day actually represents a great opportunity
That's a
for both,
great idea.
disability table,
Yep.
like for the commission, but
Yeah.
also having, this year's gonna be tight, I don't think we'll have a chair by the time that
Well,
comes up.
who knows?
But
If we
maybe.
if State Beach has one, we might be able to borrow theirs.
Right.
Or, you know what
Yeah.
we could
Or we
do?
might be able to get a vendor.
Bring the existing chair in disrepair
say,
and have
"Look
it
what
as
we
an
have."
example of what the disability commission is bringing.
I think
us
that's
to
a great
replace that,
idea.
and
I
show
think that's a
that
great idea.
historically it's been here, and here's something the disability commission is looking at,
Mm-hmm.
to restore access using equipment like this, and,
And maybe we could plan that event like right on the beach.
yeah.
Well, River Day is right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of River Day, I actually reserved a table for us because they actually contacted me with regards to Stroke Buddies. So I reached out to Martin and I got 2 spots, one for each of us, and it is on the 21st, and it's from 10 to 12?
Yeah, they do a nice
10 to
job.
12.
Yeah, they
On the
do.
21st from 10 to 12.
I will not be there. My daughter's getting married that day.
Oh,
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
But anyone
We'll
else?
be there.
Yep, Martin
I'll
and
go,
I.
I'll go.
And anyone else who would like to participate. It's a short window. They're only asking for a children's activity in conjunction with
Oh, yeah,
whoever's
we-
You'll have
participating.
all them if you want to use them.
Do you have something for
Well,
kids?
well, I
Well,
think
we'll fill
this
you in.
happened previously,
Oh.
a year ago, and Sue came up with a pretty good program, so yeah.
Oh, good.
We have that if you
You
want.
got all
to.
that stuff?
I have it, yeah, I
Okay.
actually
What
saw
was,
it.
that was the bottle caps? Was that the
It
bottle
was
caps?
bottle caps, and we showed them how they can recycle bottle caps
Oh, wonderful.
and making the bottle caps into bracelets or
Yeah,
necklaces
little,
and
Sure.
colorful things. It
and
was-
yeah, we had all the stickers and stuff that they could color
Nice.
on the bottle caps.
Okay. That's what they're looking for.
And I've got all the paints and everything still
Yay.
in a box.
Is the table is free?
The table
Or are
is
we
free.
supposed to, they charge you?
Nonprofits, it's free. If
Oh,
you
good.
are, if you're a business, I
Oh,
think they
okay.
ask for a
Okay,
donation.
I can't remember.
But we
Very
are,
good.
yeah.
So a couple things that
Yeah.
are related to that. One would be, the idea of bringing out the ratty old chair, I think is nice, because it's a conversation item to say we're improving it. I think if we haven't placed the additional Moby mat, then it would be nice to bring some of the spare Moby
Excellent.
mat and
And
say,
show
hey,
them
when
what
you see this
Moby
around
mats is.
town,
Yes.
this is, Commission on Disability is supporting it, right? So next time you go to the beach and you see the blue mat.
That's what it is.
The only thing is the Moby mat is wrapped up, it weighs a ton,
Yeah.
because, right, and it's all wrapped in cellophane.
Yeah.
Do you have
So,
can we get a
if you
piece
guys
of the old
wanna-
one?
Huh?
I wonder if Ross has a piece of an old one, or even if we just take
I'm just saying,
pictures of
we've seen
it.
it really,
If we just had
we
like
could
a
do it, but it's
piece of
really, really heavy to bring the whole thing, we brought just a piece.
Yeah.
But, we'll have to see if Ross has got a
I
piece.
think it'd be good to think
I
about some of the
agree.
things so that.
Yeah.
These are things that we purchased and
Yeah.
they're gonna help the
We can't
people.
bring the whole vision board, but is there a way to, you know, have some pictures of things around town?
That's good.
Because I think a lot of people do attend River Day, and
They
a
do.
lot of people are very generous, stopping at the different booths they may not recognize, and it'd
Right.
be a good chance to get
I
some,
agree.
some
I
visibility.
think that's a good idea.
Maybe we can get that picture from Dana and
Yeah.
blow it up or whatever.
Yeah, just put
Could
it in
have it
frame
on
on the
a-
table
yeah.
or something.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'll write that down.
Yeah, would you please?
And tell me again the date for the.
It is the 21st, Brian, and it's from 10 to 12. Saturday, June 21st, from 10 to 12. The lady who's in charge is Cindy Wilson, and I already confirmed that we have a spot for the commission.
I know Cindy really well. She's on the
Yeah, she's real
on the
sweet.
cleanup. She's also in charge of the pantry, so
Awesome,
she's great
Oh.
to work with.
wonderful.
So, Brian, I'm just looking at a picture of one that you can take that's a PVC similar to the one we had, but it now is,
Powered?
you are able to disassemble it for transport.
Ah,
So it's, yeah, I'll send the link in the group mail. It actually looks like the one we have, so depending on how bad ours is, we may be able to buy some replacements.
Yeah.
And this one comes with a nice big umbrella, which is very nice.
that's nice that it pulls apart. That's a great
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
The other one, maybe the other one did, I just never did it.
No,
I
it
just
doesn't.
put it in the pickup and called it a day.
Yeah.
My problem with it pulling apart, from personal experience, having ridden in one,
Yeah.
and the effort it takes to push and pull, my concern is that it might come to pieces while
Somebody's in it.
Yeah, that's true.
is
Well,
sitting in it.
I would think that it would probably snap into place, you know, like with those little.
You don't want
Tabs?
spontaneous.
Yeah, you don't want spontaneous combustion. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, we'll check all that out, obviously,
Yeah.
Brian, and you know, take a good look at it. Make sure we get the right chair. I think it's important, you know, we get the right chair, not just a chair, you know.
Right.
And Sue, if you're looking, would you get some prices for the chairs, either updating and upgrading ours, or buying a different one, or a more expensive one?
Yep.
Because we know we have the money, so maybe we can
That'd be great.
Yeah.
go to River Day and say, this is the old one, and we plan on getting a newer one.
Yeah, I mean, we might be able to purchase the newer one that's the flotation, and then just fix the wheels and things on our old one.
Yeah.
So that you've got one if you don't want to go in the beach, because the one for the flotation that goes in the beach is pretty low. So, you know, not everybody, if, you know,
That'd be
like
great.
I wouldn't want to put my mother in this one, because it would be too low for me to get her in and out. But to put a child in this one would be easy, or even to do a two-person lift on an adult if they wanted to go into the water, but, you know, where I would put my mother in the sit-up, just the sitting one.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to get, at least get my feet in the water, so my daughter was pushing me into the waves. I didn't get too deep into the waves, but I do have a picture of me
Awesome.
at the water's edge.
Where was that, Brian?
Down in Florida.
Oh, okay. And the chair was available right there on the beach? How did you get the chair?
Well, down in Florida, they just have to contact the people at the state beach that we went to, tell them that you wanted to use the chair.
Yeah.
And then they would give you the date, and then you'd go, and they would unlock the shed and wheel out the chair for you. Now, that was back when I was still able to stand and pivot, so I could get from
Right,
my manual chair into the beach chair.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like the one that, the seated one here, you could do, because the arms are removable and stuff, you know, if you could stand, but even if you had somebody that was good with a slide board pivot, you could do that. But the one that goes in the water would be too difficult. This would have to be somebody that could stand pivot or be a lift.
Right. Anybody have anything else that they want to offer?
I just have one quick question. How are we doing on the updated information on the website for new commissioners and the updated information as to who we are?
So the only thing that I was holding back on is they're in the process of changing the town website. And so then there was this, when we went through the training of the new website, which was as exciting as you can imagine, they told us how they were going to be transitioning soon and that anything entered in one would have to be re-entered in the other, and they were trying to basically minimize change.
Yeah.
It's taking longer. I thought it was going to be sooner. I don't know.
Are they gonna contact you, or should we kind of contact them to see if it's moved along?
I can contact I forget the individual who's coordinating the training, but I'll reach back out to them and see, because if it's gonna be another month or so, then
We should
it's
just do it.
super easy to go in and just
Yeah,
change
let's
it,
just
and I'll just
update
change
it.
it again when it goes over to the new site, so.
Yeah.
That was the only reason for the delay, was just, minimizing the double entry.
Awesome.
So, but I can update that.
And then as a follow-up to that too, Brian Martin and I have agreed to go and look in the quote-unquote closet of old support material used by the commission to see if we can update some brochures or maybe take some new photographs and you know, introduce members of our commission to the community so that when we do the presentation on River Day, that we'll be able to, people will be able to identify maybe who the members are, and maybe we can take, you know, a group photograph and kind of, you know, let people know who we are. And we can do a nice handout for what we stand for and what we're doing in the community to kind of follow up on what our fellow commissioner is going to do with regards to the website.
I can share what's, there's some files that were on the website in an older iteration of it that are still there. They're just not linked to, so I'll pull those. There's an old PDF of the Westport Without Borders brochure.
Oh, yes, I've got it somewhere.
So I've got some of those
Update that.
around.
I think I took it.
Yeah.
I can pull those. in
'Cause what
case-
I'm-
Oh, yeah, we gotta update, we have to
So what
update
I'm
that.
trying to do is, with your permission, Brian, is what I've done for the banner and obviously for our tablecloth, trying to get all of our I don't want to say logo, but our state seal and our imprint for what the commission is moving forward. We'll kind of have like a little refresh of a face and new faces that are on the board and as commissioners and moving forward like as a reintroductory back out into the community.
Great.
Yeah, it's, we gotta find a time where we're all together.
Yeah,
It's not always easy, as we
We'll do it when we
experience
push
trying to
Martin
get
into the
together
water
for
when
a
we can.
meeting.
Yeah, I think Rich is right. When we push Martin into
Oh
the
my God,
water,
this
I
will be a
think,
sight.
I don't think anyone's gonna miss that, so maybe we could
Oh,
plan on
good.
taking our picture for that.
All right, everybody, have fun. I think it would be very nice with the table skirt that we have out now, taking a picture with everybody here at the table.
I think so
In all
too.
seriousness, you know, when you hear Brian, just you know, that is really
I agree.
Yeah.
very impressive, I think.
But I think too, you know, the get to know yous, I know back in the day, you know, we used to have coffee hours and different things like get to know your candidate. And even though we're not candidates, I think people know of you by face and not necessarily by your name. And then vice versa, sometimes it's the total opposite, right? But I think, you know, with all of the things that you've accomplished, over a long period of time and the newer things that you're bringing to the table, it's always important for people to get to know who we are.
Well, and maybe after the River Day,
Yeah, we could take pictures there.
and we get all the equipment pulled together and make some decisions about buying a new chair.
Yeah.
We can put together a brief 1 or 2 paragraphs that go on the shorelines about the Westport Commission on Disability, and this is who we are,
Yeah,
and you know some of the things that we have done recently.
Yep.
I agree.
We talked about this several times over the past several months. But this might be a good opportunity to actually get something like that done.
I have Ted, who did my interview, I have his cell phone number if you wanted me to give him a call and invite him on behalf of the commission and have him join us and do an article.
Yeah, that would be, at least reach out to him and see if he has any interest.
Okay, definitely. And the other thing too is if someone or any of you have a photograph of yourselves that you could send off so we can put it in a brochure or get to know who we are, just like a couple of sentence bio, I can use that as well. So if you've taken pictures for other things and you have that still picture, you could just send that along and Martin and I would be able to work with that as well.
That can be done.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
Does anybody have anything else that they want to add to our final thoughts section?
Nope. Wait a minute.
Just that I may not be here on the 23rd. It depends how I feel after the 23rd.
That's true.
There you go.
Is that the date, the next meeting is June 23rd?
It's June 23, yeah,
Yes, June 23.
at the select board meeting room.
Oh, okay. Back and forth.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, everybody put that in your calendars, June 23, 2025, 3:45, in the select board meeting room.
With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. And we are adjourned.
Thank
All
you.
right.